guys, it's Amy May, and if you're new here, firstly, thank you so much for coming to check me out. This is a channel that I've been using to document my weight loss journey using Mounjaro since April 2024. I started Mounjaro on the 4th of April 2024. I'm going to give myself the first injection today. I'm going to hope for the best because I am really nervous. And you know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But let's just try it. Today is day one. I've just picked up the Mounjaro from Boots, and to be honest, I kind of felt like everyone was staring at me, even though they obviously weren't. But I think I was a bit embarrassed. And since January 2024, I've lost 80 pounds. Now, recently my phone storage has been playing up, so I was going through deleting old videos and old pictures and trying to free up some storage and backing stuff up. And I came across a lot of my old YouTube videos, or at least clips from my old YouTube videos, and some clips that either made it into vlogs or didn't make it into vlogs. And it was quite emotional. It was quite emotional seeing how far I'd come, but it got me thinking, if I had to start from the beginning, if I was starting my Mounjaro journey now, is there anything that I'd do different? So today I've just got 5 little things for you that I would do differently if I started Mounjaro today rather than last year. Firstly, I'd take more measurements. I'd take more measurements and more frequent measurements. I'll see if I can find when I very first took measurements along this journey, because I just wasn't about it. I wasn't about it. I didn't want to know. I didn't want to know how big my waist was, you know, how big, like, I didn't want to know basically how big my thighs were. I did not want that information to come across me. And so I avoided taking measurements for the longest time. And in a similar sort of vein, I also didn't take gym pictures or gym workout videos until, I think my first one was like the 28th of June, something like that. So that was nearly 3 months after I started Mounjaro, and nearly 6 months after I first, you know, got back in the saddle and started trying to lose weight again. Whilst you're on your journey, sometimes it can be difficult to see if you're making any progress, and it can be disheartening, especially if you've got a long way to go, or you feel like you've got a long way to go. But honestly, I wish, because from January to April, I, you know, had an online personal trainer. I was doing all the right things, doing it naturally, losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight. I was going to the gym. I honestly wish that I took more, like, I don't think I've got any pictures from January to April. I think there's maybe a picture of me in January and how big I was in January, but I've definitely not got any gym pictures, gym clips. I think part of it was because I was so embarrassed. I didn't have any self-confidence whatsoever, and I was a bit mortified. It took me a long time to be able to film in the gym, and even then, like, I'm not here with a tripod. I just like prop my phone up on stuff. Like, I literally at one point I was like propping it on the bin, and it nearly fell in the bin. So I really wish that I took more pictures and videos of how my body looks between January and June last year, and also measurements. Even now I don't remember the last time I did measurements, to be honest. There was a brief period, I think last summer, where I did try and make a conscious effort to do it, but it took a lot of time, because you don't have to, but like, I was doing like three measurements of each thing and like taking the average or whatever, but some of them be wildly different, and I couldn't be bothered. Even now, I don't really do them now, but I think I might update my measurements and just see, and I need to try and find when I last did them. But yeah, so if I was starting again now, I'd do more measurements, more frequent measurements. And honestly, even if you're someone who feels like, oh no, I don't want to see it, and you don't want to, you know, take pictures or videos of how you look now or things like that, just do it. Just do it, and you can put it in your hidden folder on your phone, or you can, like, you know, store it away on a laptop and never look at it. Because trust me, as your journey progresses, you will want to see how far you've come. And it is really nice, and really, is heartening a word? I know, disheartening. It's really, really nice to see how far you've come, especially when you're having a down day, or you're in a bit of a slump, or you just feel a bit rubbish. It's really good to, you know, go into that hidden folder, scroll back a few months and see how you were then. And you can see the progress you've made. And I wish I'd done more measurements and more pictures and videos of that initial period, because I know I've documented it on here, but I wish I could see myself working out back in January, back in April 2024, because that would give me a real boost, I think, just to see how far I've come. because it always gets me by surprise. Like when I look back at my old pictures and videos, I'm like, oh wow, like I was big. But like I knew that at the time, but it's just I don't know. Yeah, you don't realise how far you've come until you look back, and then it's like, wow. Like honestly, I'm gobsmacked at what I've achieved. So number 2. Now, one of the reasons that I don't do what I eat in a days is because I don't want anyone following my example, and I find it can be quite triggering both for myself and for other people. Because in the past I have had comments being like, oh yeah, do what you eat in a day, and I've been like, yeah, I will. And at the time I meant it, but then upon reflection I was like, no, because I wouldn't want someone to see me and go, oh, she's lost all that weight, I need to eat like her. Because I've always said I'm not a role model. I'm not an example. Do not do what I do, which is why I've not shared my eating habits. And it also is just quite triggering, and I think everyone's different. I know it's such a cliche, but they are. So like what works for one person might not even work for you. So just eat how you decide you want to eat. But anyway, so number 2, basically I recently had bloods done and found out I was folate deficient, which means I've not been eating enough leafy greens, which is exactly why I don't show what I eat in a day, and I don't tell people to, copy me. So eat your greens is essentially number 2. Eat your greens, eat your protein, and make sure you're eating enough calories as well, because it's easy to, accidentally get into a habit of, because you're not feeling as hungry as you were before, and because you're not constantly thinking about food and you've not got all this food noise in your head 24/7, it is easy to not realise how little calories you're eating. So yeah, so number 2, eat your greens, eat your protein, and make sure you're eating enough. Number 3, I wish that I'd tried gym classes sooner. Between January and April, before I started Mounjaro, I was going to the gym, but I was mainly just doing treadmill work. I was walking on the treadmill, essentially. At an incline, might I add, but you know what I mean. I wasn't out here trying machines, I wasn't out here trying weights. Eventually, as my confidence grew, I did start to try the machines, and I'd watch YouTube videos and go on different websites and try and figure out how they worked. But I do wish that I'd gone to a gym class sooner, because when I did, like the people there, they actually, like one of the trainers, he's really nice, but he actually showed me what to do. And it sounds so simple and it sounds so silly, but if you can go up to a machine, or if you can pick up a weight with the confidence that you're doing it correctly and that you know what you're doing, it takes a massive weight off. Because honestly, even to this day, like I'm eyeing up new machines, I'm like, how do I use that? But I'm just too embarrassed to I don't know. No, to be fair, I've definitely improved a lot. But because at the start, one thing I will say, my confidence has improved massively throughout this journey. I wish I'd gone to a gym class sooner, because I started going to a weightlifting class and I learned how to do things. And, as my confidence grew, I felt less embarrassed to try new things. And it was quite nice actually doing it in a class. I do like being a lone ranger. I do like being a lone wolf and just working out myself most of the time. But, the occasional gym class, I think if you can really build up your confidence, and if you can take the first step and go, you might hate it and you might think never doing this again, and that's fine. But at least you've tried it, and if you don't hate it, you could learn a lot. And it is nice doing stuff not by yourself sometimes. So number 3, I wish I'd started doing a gym class sooner, because it took me months and months. I was eyeing them up, doing a recce. Trying to, whenever the class is on, I'd be watching the mats and watching what they were doing and being oh, looking on the app, being what's that one? But I was spent months and months and months too scared to try. But I wish I'd done it sooner, because I learned a lot and it gave me the confidence to try other new things. Number 4, now obviously it depends what's available to you, but I do wish that I'd found one of those machines where it tells you your muscle mass and your body composition, and that I'd done that. Because at the gym there is one, I'm not sure how accurate it is, but again, it was months before I did that, and I wish from the jump, because obviously I think it was just lack of self-confidence, I was embarrassed, but I wish from the jump I'd known roughly, because I don't know how accurate the machine is, but roughly, what is my fat percentage, what is my muscle percentage and muscle mass and all of that. And I wish I'd done that regularly, because then it would have been nice to see the trend and to track it. Some gyms do have the machines. My gym has a machine. I think it does do it's called FitQuest or something. It does do, I think you can do some exercises on it, and it'll tell you like a more in-depth look. But I haven't done that bit yet because I was too embarrassed to do exercises on it. But I have stood on it and got me fat and me muscle mass. But I wish I'd done that a year and a half ago. Do you know what I mean? And last but not least, because I think this is definitely one of the most important ones, don't worry about anyone else. Don't worry about anyone's opinion. Don't compare yourself to other people. Again, it's such a cliche, and don't constantly be sat there going, oh, you know, I've still got X amount to lose or whatever. Don't worry about it. If you stay consistent and you keep turning up for yourself, as they say, like, it's going to happen. Because I had at least 2 periods where I didn't lose any weight for 1 to 2 months, maybe more. Like, you just got to roll with it. You just got to keep going, keep doing what you're doing. And especially when you've got a lot of weight to lose, you know, whatever your goal is, then it can be disheartening, because you can sit there and go, oh, you know, I've lost 10 pounds, that's great. And then be like, oh, but I've still got another 100 to go. It doesn't matter. If you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to get there. And yeah, you don't know how long it's going to take, but you'll feel so much better. You know, you're doing something for yourself, and you'll feel so much better once you get there. So stop. I mean, I'm not going to say enjoy the journey, because I don't know how I feel about that when they're like, it's about the journey, not the destination. I don't know what that accent was, but so I'm not going to, you know, patronise you to that extent, but don't compare yourself to other people, whether that's just anyone or people who are taking Mounjaro as well for weight loss. It don't matter. It don't matter. You keep doing what you're doing, you're going to get there. And don't constantly think. Instead, just think, okay, I can walk up the stairs without being as breathless. Or, you know, oh, my jeans are a bit looser on me. Or, oh, I've actually got the confidence to buy jeans for the first time in my life. Honest to God. And honestly, everyone's got an opinion on it. Obviously, Mounjaro's got a lot of press coverage, as have other GLP-1s, or the skinny jab, as people say. Don't worry about it. Like, everyone's got an opinion. Their opinion should not matter to you unless it's your doctor. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. No one gets the right to tell you how to live your life. And it does make me sad sometimes, because I've seen on like Reddit and stuff, because I used to browse the Reddit forums before I got tired of them. Like, some people are like, oh, my partner doesn't want me taking Mounjaro, they're really against it, they're being really mean to me. That ain't right. I understand, you know, friends and family members may have concerns, but at the end of the day, if you've made an informed choice, if you've done your research and you truly think this is okay for you, and also obviously if you've been through the proper channels, you know, you've got approval and you haven't lied about your medical history or anything, if you've done everything by the book and, you know, you've had to think about it, you've not rushed into it, and you've thought, you know what, I am going to try it, I'm going to take the chance, I'm going to try it, don't work, that's your decision and yours alone. But obviously, you know, if a doctor or medical professional is like, actually, don't think this is right for you, you need to listen to them. So, like, as long as you're honest about your medical history, as long as you've had a good think about it, your partner, your mother, your sister, nobody has the right to put you off. And I understand that's easier said than done, because, you know, certain dynamics, or if you're living with somebody that's really against it, or if you're scared to let them know you're on it and it's difficult to hide. I get it. You know, it's one thing to say it, but it's another thing in real life. But honestly, it's your choice, and it's your choice alone. As long as, you know, you do going by the book, there's not any bootleg, like, you're not getting it in an alley, or like a beautician's drawing it into a syringe or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? As long as you're doing it by the book and you've had a think, and, you know, there's no sort of things in your medical history or anything like that would exclude you from taking it, then go for it. Just take it one day at a time. And yeah, I mean, I've said this multiple times, but for me, it's the best decision I've ever made. But I know a lot of people, both personally and obviously you hear about it online, that have had terrible experiences. So don't jump into it, I'd say. Just have a think, and see if it's right. And obviously now the price increase and all of that, like, it's a massive commitment. But for me personally, I'm very, very glad that I took the leap, and that little BMI 38 me was like, do you know what? Let's have a crack. But again, everybody is different. You need to speak to a doctor or a prescriber. You need to go through the proper channels, and it's not something to do lightly. But I'm sure you guys know that. Do you know what I mean? You're grown adults, like, you all know that. So anyway, if you like this video and you'd like to follow me along on wherever my journey takes me next, then please subscribe. And also, I've got a playlist where you can watch some of the old videos and see me literally go through my Mounjaro journey from day one. So I hope you all have a lovely day. Thank you very much for listening. And I'll see you soon, guys.